Hey guys, day 79 of Peter and Doxie sailing to Queensland here in the beautiful Tin Can Bay. Still, it's not going to change any time for a little while. Just getting ready to sit out in the sun here, because the tide has swung around going out, which it has in the last few days meant that the southerly, which we've been having, basically is deflected from the cockpit here and the sun shines in, so it's actually quite beautiful. Now, as forecast, the wind has now swung around to the northeast, so we're actually getting a little bit of confusion out here on the water. The boat's going one way with the gusts, then the tide pushes it back. Tide probably hasn't got its full strength running out yet, so it is new moon today. Out with the old, in with the new. And I guess the tide's fairly extreme at the moment. So we'll see what the day brings. The sky is trying to clear again. The clouds started to threaten, so at least we've got the sun coming in. I'm happy. Yeah, I was thinking, I should go out for a blat in the boat dinghy. But then this came through. I thought, yeah, you know what? I'll wait for another day. I've got things to do on board here. I've actually been mucking around with videos and stuff. So hopefully I'll come up with an intro or something, or a trailer, I think it is, which might just make my channel look a bit better. So can't look any worse, can it? So yeah, that's today. Got a few little minor jobs in mind to do, a few things that have been puzzling me. I'm on board here. I'm not going anywhere, so I really should be getting on with those things. King of procrastination. But then all of a sudden you get a blood rush to the head. You sort of think, oh yeah, wouldn't it be cool to get that done and this done? And I'll start doing it and probably still not get a result, but at least I'll know I've tried, and maybe try and isolate the problem down to something I can get my head around. Anyway, me rambling. I'm going to finish my coffee. I don't know if it's going to be an exciting day today, but hey, you never know. Those are the days that often things do happen, so let's just see. So one of my frustrations, and there are many, no, not really, is my wind instrument direction and wind strength. It's not working. It has worked. And of course that's taking its reading from top of the mast, where I have had an electrician go up and check that the I've lost the word now, the actuator, for want of a better word, is actually working and sending and connecting, which it seems to be doing. So you can see that the depth gauge is working fine, wind not so much, direction not so much. So I'm going to go through again and just check the various wiring connections along the way. So just that's the front, and as we come back into the cabin, that's the back end of the instruments. Now their legacy once again, so yeah, certainly not in last year's release. The processor behind here, can't remember. There you go. Right. So this is your basic processor, which obviously is indicating how old this is. So let's just have a look to see what's inside. Right, what have we got? So if you thought it looked confusing before, now look. Okay, there's a guide down here that tells us what all the different wires do. So I might get my multimeter onto that and just to see what current's going through there, if any. Okay, so I'm going to power it off here. Boom. So that's powering off now. You know what they say, if it doesn't work, reboot. Reboot. Sorry, I had a Filipino tech assistant many years ago. That's the voice I hear. Okay, so just firing it back up again. You can see the wind indicator does do a little bit of a dwitz. It comes up with 1.1 knot of wind speed, which it does every time, so it's nothing exciting. The depth has now kicked in, so the depth sounding is working. And eventually my expectation is that this wind speed will start to decrease down to 0. There it goes. And boom. And that's the last we hear from it, basically. So yeah. Well, I might have to get out the manual again just to have another look through to see if there's anything else I can check. Okay, here we go. We've got a few arrivals today. Not sure if they've come from, yeah, they've probably come from up north because it's the wrong time for the wide bay bar, or they could just have been at Inskip and just made their way further up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is do a power test basically, so 17 and 18. I should imagine this is okay because the display is out there, but I might as well go right back to basics. So I'll be measuring that on my multimeter here. I can't do it all together because I need 3 hands otherwise. Okay, so I've got 12.63 volts coming out of those powers, 17 and 18. So let's go to the next thing. Okay, so I have actually screwed this from the wall just to see where the wires go. Unfortunately, several of them disappear up into the bulkhead, into the deckhead. So next thing I'm going to check is just remove these 2 wires here, 47 and 48, test their resistance. Okay, so I've got these 2 wires touching and no fluctuation up here at all. Okay, so we haven't really unearthed anything exciting here. Well, exciting's not what we're after, but anyway. So the next thing, the cables are obviously either in the deckhead or somewhere along, and they come to this junction box, which should be inside here, which is the base of the mast. Okay, well, this is my personal favourite, working above your head in a confined space, but let's see if we can make any sense out of any of this. Okay, don't think this doesn't take a bit of jiggery pokery when you're unhandy and got shaky hands. I'm holding it up to the red and green, and it looks like, and I've got it on 2K resistance. The reading is moving all over the place, and that's probably what I'd expect as the wind vane at the top of the mast is moving around in the gusts. So we seem to be getting it to this point. I've somehow got to follow the wires back and see where the problem is. I suppose I should be happy about that because it kind of points to the fact that the problem is not up the mast, which is the last place I'm going. So this guy here, no, not that one, this one here goes that way, somewhere into here. So somewhere I'm going to have to try and pull this apart in hope that I struck the cable before I pull everything apart and just find out how it's routed. Okay, so logically it's in that bulkhead somewhere, perhaps even in the wardrobe. So let's choose the path of least resistance first and check wardrobes, storage bins, to see if that cable's running through there or not. Okay, I just lifted this bunk up, daybed, whatever you want to call it, and just checking inside here, just to get an idea if the cable's run in this direction. The answer is no cables in here, and same story in the next one as well, so I can cross those off the list. It's not coming this way. Right, next I'll check these ones under the daybed and see if anything runs through there. Okay, once again, no cables in here. Just a lot of tools. Okay, but at least I know it's not passing this way. Okay, so I've just checked in this shelf too, just in case they've loose laid it in, but there's nothing running along here, so I have to assume it's running inside here or running inside the deck head. So I'm going to have to go back and follow it more in more detail now. Okay, so what I might do first is take this slat off. I know there's one on the other side too, but I'm kind of leaning on, well, it's going to come this way towards the box. Otherwise, it might be a case of taking this guy off as well. So let's see what we turn up. Yes, it's all a bit of a mystery, but I've uncovered this photo here that was in my documents folders, and it shows some of the wiring that was done when the boat was being constructed. Sort of looks like a lot of wiring, but I mean, a lot of wiring was basically around here. So I'm going to take that slat off, I think, and just see what I can uncover. Always the same when you're doing one job, you sort of think, oh, yeah, that needs doing too. So I might as well do that while it's there. So got some glue, I've wiped it on the back, hopefully that'll work. And then I will just wipe it on. So far, I've had that slat off, didn't reveal anything. I have restuck this down. I know there are little bubbles in it, but I think that's more to do with stretching. I tried to, what do you call it? Smooth it on using this tool, which was reasonably effective. So I'm going with, it's better than it was. I've also managed to replace an eye on the curtain, which was hanging down. So isn't procrastination and distraction a wonderful thing? Still no further ahead with the cable, mind you. It's funny because I rattle around here. That's the one I'm looking for. And I can feel it must go through here somewhere. So I guess I should take that little slat off next and see if it reveals anything at all. Alrighty, I was just tidying everything away and I came across this in my power board box. Now it does say instruments on there. It is B&G, which is the same make as the instruments. It's solidly on there and I cannot see anything that I can access basically. I've tried to do a Google Lens thing on it and geez, I cannot find anything. I just thought it might be a great place to test whether the signal is coming from the base of the mast this far. So maybe it's a network issue, who knows. Anyway, if anybody's seen one of these, yeah, please share any knowledge you might have, but short of damaging it, I'm not sure how I can get into it or anything. Okay, we can all stop looking now. Yeah, it just, the lid just popped off, but you know, you always think you're going to break something because it doesn't actually have a lug or anything to sort of indicate, yes, this is what you should do. Anyway, there's three wires coming in, or 3 lots of wires, so still got to get my head around that. But I think that's a tomorrow job. The sun's just about to hit the horizon. I can barely see what I'm doing for more reasons than one. So I think we'll leave it there for now. So here we are at the end of another day in Tin Can Bay, and the sun's about to go down. So yes, I decided it was a good time to call it a day. I feel like I've made some progress, unless I'm much mistaken. I think I've proven basically that the problem is not up the mast, which makes me very happy because there's no way I'm going up there. Yeah, maybe when I was younger, but not keen on it now. Anyway, so yeah, I did manage to open that little unit inside my power box. 3 cords going into it with various wiring configurations, but I didn't track down any resistance, but I think I have to remove the wires to do that. So I'm just learning these things as I go along. So yeah, I believe I have to separate the green and the red from the power box and check that that resistance that we see up at the mast junction box translates down to this box here on the power board. I'm looking inside. So yeah, that would probably help me to narrow it down at least. Yeah, it's I'd love to solve that mystery. I really would. It used to work, and the sun used to be up. Well, it still is. So yeah, I feel it's been a productive day. I think I've learned a few things today. Done a few little bits and pieces along the way, getting distracted, sticking up that ceiling or that deck head vinyl. Just having to be really careful because it's old, so therefore it's brittle, and yeah, if there's a few bubbles in it, you know what, I'd rather have a few little bubbles than tearing it. So anyway, choices. I am now going to settle into my evening, and thank you for following this. I know it's probably like pulling teeth sometimes. Anyway, there might be some of you out there who know a little bit more about the electrics than I do, and that's probably about 90% of you. So yeah, anybody got any bright ideas? Brilliant. I'd love to hear them. I am learning as I go, as I said. So I'd love to learn a whole lot more. Anyway, if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe, share, comment. Love the comments coming through. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Just makes it feel like, okay, somebody's watching. And yeah, obviously, if there's things you want to know, I'm happy to accommodate where it's possible. So, this is Dawn Raider, out. Thanks for watching another Adventures of Foxy Doxie. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you.